All right, let's get into SDFs. So here we have a whole slew of different setups, and we're just going to go from left to right and break these all down. So here we have a circle, and there's a loop animation going into a transition. So this is just giving a value from, looks like 0.3 to 0.4. And each of these along here are just looping and then transitioning between two numbers. That way, these SDF shapes have a little motion so that we can a little better see how we can use them really quickly. So for the circle, we're just animating the radius. And the way SDFs work is if we skip this smooth step, this is what the SDF actually looks like. It's kind of a gradient that goes from like the edge of the SDF, I think, is at 0, like a value of 0. And then as it goes further away from that, it goes up to 1. And I think inside might be a negative. But anyway, using these smooth steps, it kind of sharpens this gradient into a harder shape, as you can see here. And the closer these two are together, the sharper this becomes. So if this is 0.01 and negative 0.01, you can see it's really sharp there. And I think if you just have the same number for each, say 0 and 0, you get this really hard edge. And you can see it flipped because I think as we go negative and positive, it'll invert which way we're going. So that's the circle. And then we have an ellipse here, which is just a circle that can get longer or wider. Nothing too exciting there. Then we have this half plane, which is super fun, because with this, we can make a gradient, we can make a diagonal gradient, and the way it works is it uses kind of a normal direction. So as these two values change, the rotation and the intensity of that kind of gradient change. Because you can see when it's kind of going left to right, it's a smoother gradient. When it's up and down, it's a little sharper, and that's because these two values are going between, these two sets of values. Then up next, we have this line here. And as you can see, it's just a line, but you can make it thicker or thinner depending on this half width. And then up next, we have this polygon. And this loop is going into the sides. So we go from, I think, essentially 0 sides to 5 or 6 sides. And it's kind of neat because you can see if it's not an even number, if it's not like 6, but it's 5.5, you get this kind of shorter area on the left side. Then the rectangle is pretty simple. It's just a rectangle. Then we have a star, which you can set the inner and outer radius. And that's it for the basic shapes. From here, we're going to look at all the different functions that we can do with SDFs. So this one here is the annular. And essentially what that does is just create an outline. So it kind of pushes those values on the inside and the outside to a positive or negative. And then this next one, the complement, I have no idea what it does. I tried a few different things and couldn't get any behavior that I could understand. So no idea about that one. For the difference, it's basically cutting one out of the other. So we have a star, and we're essentially subtracting this circle from it. And so we get this nice cutout there. For the flip is actually kind of rotating and skewing it. I think if you change these to negative values, that would probably mirror it. So let's actually try that. Let's end on a negative and a negative. So it's a little confusing to see. Maybe if I make these values more even. Anyway, there's a lot going on here, but you can flip and you can kind of like skew and rotate all in one. And up next is the SDF intersection. And this is essentially a Boolean operation. It's taking this circle and then taking this line, and only where it's intersecting it'll render. Everything outside of that intersection is just blank. And again, this smooth step is doing a lot of work. So if we skip this, you can see this is the actual SDF calculation, but the smooth step just sharpens it up so you can actually see what's going on. Now for the SDF mix, this one's interesting because it really does kind of blend between two shapes. This transition is going from 0 to 1. So at 0, we're looking at just a star, and at 1, we're looking at just a circle. But when it's halfway between, we get this kind of nice blend of the two. So that's a really powerful patch for SDFs. Another great one is repeat, where you can take any SDF that you have and just basically duplicate it along the X and the Y. And you can repeat or you can mirror those. So you can get really cool shapes and kind of fractalized stuff with that. Then we have a rotation here, which is very simple, easy to understand. And then we have rotational repeat, which is essentially a combination of repeat and rotation. So we get this kind of radial duplication here. Then up next we have rounding. And rounding, again, I couldn't really figure out what behavior this is doing, because as we increase and decrease this, the shape gets larger and smaller, but it doesn't really seem to round things out at all. And I might just be using it incorrectly, but if you know what this does, let me know. And then we have scale right over here, which is very self-explanatory. It's just getting larger and smaller. And then slant is kind of like a shearing. As you can see here, the value is shear, and that'll stretch things diagonally or slant things. And this smooth difference here is really nice because you have these two values and you can get the difference between the two. So it cuts it out, but then you can change the smoothness so you can kind of blend these in and out. So you can get some really nice, soft, complex shapes with that. And then similarly, we have smooth intersection and smooth union. So these two are smooth intersection and smooth union. And it's a little confusing to see what's going on. There's a star and a rectangle on this one. You can see they're kind of blended together, and the smoothness kind of eats away or releases it. And for smooth union, you can see if I just delete this at 0, it just adds the two together. But as we increase this, it kind of blends these shapes together. So you get this nice smooth kind of intersection between all these, or union. I should clarify, intersection is kind of cutting out only where they're intersecting, where union, it saves both the inner and the outer pieces of it together. And then in translation, this one's also pretty self-apparent. You can move things around in the X and Y axis. Now here we have twist, which just twists something around the center pivot or whatever pivot you had set there. And then finally we have union, which is just like smooth union, but without the smooth option. So you're just limited to whatever the result is. And then you notice back here, a few of these had some colors. And so SDFs are natively grayscale, but if you use a gradient step, you can add colors based on the black and white values, and then just put that right into the diffuse texture. And of course, you can change these values so you can sharpen that gradient. So you can see here, you get these sharper edges, but as these numbers are further apart, you get that softer gradient. So that was a quick and fast look at all these different SDF operations. There's only 2 of them that I don't really understand how to make them work, but it's a really powerful tool. It feels like it might be a little limited or confusing at first, but if you just spend a little bit of time and learn these basics, then you can easily make lines or gradients or little star shapes or hearts pretty easily. So, with a little experimentation, you can go pretty far with this.